Hello everyone, it's time for an update and boy do I have a good one for you. Woohoo! Taking my dogs for a walk, so I thought I would bring you along with me. It's March 21st. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Laura. I was diagnosed October 15th with triple negative breast cancer, and I thought I would make a YouTube channel and bring everybody along with me on this lovely adventure called cancer, and just inform everybody like this is what goes on, this is what happens, or at least this is my lovely adventure with cancer. So today is March 21st, second day of spring. It hasn't sprung too hard yet for us, so still cold. In fact, we got an inch of snow just a little while ago. But anyways, to get everybody updated, on March 12th and 13th, I had consultation appointments with a surgical breast oncologist and a microplastic surgeon based out of University of Michigan. And I had some really good appointments. So March 12th, I'm down in Ann Arbor. I first have to go in about 12:30 for a mammogram and a ultrasound because they wanted to know where I'm currently at with my chemo and what it's doing with the tumor compared to my initial scans. After both of those, my breast tumor, which was originally around 5 centimeters, has shrunk to 1.5 centimeters. Woo! And my lymph node in my right axilla went from 2.4 centimeters to 1 centimeter. Woo! So that is very, very good news. I was super duper happy. Come on, Toby, what are you doing? Happy puppy Toby. So the doctor recommended that I would be a suitable candidate for a lumpectomy and a sentinel lymph node biopsy. This was music to my ears, because what I was originally told when this lovely adventure started was that I would have to have a mastectomy and or double mastectomy along with radiation to the tune to about 5 weeks. And the whole idea of doing chemo, neoadjuvant chemo before surgery, is to A, shrink the tumor, and B, see how your body reacts to it, because they need to find this stuff out. And by shrinking the tumor, it opens up different possibilities as far as treatment is concerned. So if somebody's on this journey and they're telling you right out of the gate, this is what you got to do, this is what you got to do, and this is what you got to do, and no ifs, ands, or buts about it, then you need to go see somebody else and get a second opinion. Because 9 times out of 10, there's a different option. Anywho, I digress. So she was mapping out, Dr. Melissa Paluski is the surgical breast oncologist that I saw. And she mapped out the surgery for me. And they're going to go in, get the tumor bed out that's in the right breast. And with the sentinel lymph node biopsy, they will inject a dye into my right breast, and they're going to follow that dye in my lymphatic system, and that will show the different way, or the path that not only lymph is taking, but the cancer cells as well. So of course they're going to take out the lymph node that had cancer in it, but they're also going to take out, I think, 1 or 2, maybe 3 more lymph nodes. And while I'm on the table, still under general anesthesia, they're going to test those lymph nodes and get the pathology. And if there's any living, or if there's not any living cancer cells in that lymph node, then surgery is done. They're going to wrap it up. They're going to send off the tumor bed for pathology. And if both the tumor bed pathology and the lymph node pathology are negative for live cancer cells, then she told me I can skip radiation if I want to. Woo! And this is based off of a trial that was published in June of 2025 called the B51 trial. It was published in the New England Journal of Medicine, and it proved that there was no difference in survivor rates and recurrence. There's no difference. Like if you achieve what's called PCR, pathologic complete response at surgery in your lymph node and your tumor bed, then there is no benefit for you, or the benefit isn't greater than if you had not done radiation. So I hadn't heard about that lovely little trial, and that was music to my ears. However, she also said, though, if in surgery, when they check the lymph node and it comes back and it does have live cancer cells in it, then she is going to do what is called an axillary node dissection, which she will have to go in and do more, but they just try to take out just very little as possible because they don't want to go in there and blitz it and take all your lymph nodes out. And then there will also be another microplastic surgeon there that will do, then when she's done, he or she will do a LVA procedure on me. I don't remember. It's like lymphedemastomosis or something like that. I'll put it up on the screen what it actually, the technical name is, but the acronym is LVA. And basically what that surgeon will do is take my lymphatic vessels and sew them, connect them to the nearest vein. So that way the lymph will dump into my circulatory system. And that procedure has a very high percentage of lowering lymphedema that could possibly pop up from the axillary node dissection. That was a lot of terms and a lot of definitions, and I don't know if anybody followed that. I don't even know if I described it accurately, but that's what I'm facing. If I have to have the axillary node dissection, you know, the bigger, longer surgery, I will have to have radiation, but what I'll probably do is meet with a radiation oncologist at U of M, figure out what they're going to say should be done. And she said they will also work with McLaren out of Petoskey, so I can get treatment there. I don't have to drive down constantly to U of M and get treatment down there. But this was just like excellent, excellent, excellent news for me. I am so very happy. And, you know, there's no, when it comes to lumpectomy versus mastectomy, there is no difference they have found in survivorship and recurrence between lumpectomy and mastectomy. Oh, hold on, we gotta turn around. Come on, guys, we're going back. Here they come. Come on, let's go. Come on, Zig. Show them your cute eyes. The only major difference is with a lumpectomy, you have to get scans, checkups every 6 months. Maybe even, depending on who your oncologist is, you might have to have them every 3 months. Some people don't like that. They don't like the anxiety that comes along with getting scanned every 6 months. So for those people, they tend to choose mastectomy so that they don't have to worry about it. I mean, you do have to worry about it, but not as regularly as I would, because I am going to be choosing lumpectomy, so I'll have to do an ultrasound, a mammogram or ultrasound, and an MRI. I think every 6 months is what she said. But I'm cool with that. I mean, lumpectomy is not as invasive as a mastectomy. The healing time on it is really quick. And the position where my tumor bed is located, which is like the lower outside quadrant of my right breast, but more towards the back. And she said it'll be quite easy to suture that up, close it up very nicely. The scar won't be bad. And my breast won't look malformed. She said where everything's at, it's looking good and sitting pretty. So I was super excited, thrilled, happy, tears of joy, that type of thing. So yeah, I encourage anybody doing this or that has to go through this, get a second opinion. Advocate for yourself. They tell you not to look into anything online, don't Google anything, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, you don't want to be taken down the weird rabbit hole, but you do need to know what's going on if you want to advocate for yourself. Otherwise, you might not be making the best decision for yourself overall in the long run. And then on the 13th, I had to meet a plastic surgeon, Dr. Momo. He's also with U of M. Just in case, let's say mastectomy had to be put back on the table. Then what would I choose? Would I choose double with an aesthetic flat closure? Would I choose just the single and do a flat closure there? Or would I do reconstruction? So we had to talk about all of those options. I am not an implant person, so I told him right off of the bat, no implants. So my two choices were flat closure or an autologous flap procedure. And an autologous flap procedure is where they would take tissue from a different part of your body that has, fat and skin and has vasculature. And they would take it from one section of your body and form a breast out of it. Some of the normal spots to go, first one is the belly. So if you do that procedure, it's called a deep flap, DIEP flap. So it's kind of like a tummy tuck and a new boob all in one, a twofer. But I don't have belly tissue, so that was not an option. Sometimes they can take it from the back of the buttocks which wasn't the greatest. And then they also can do the inner thigh. And after he examined me, I probably have enough on each. I'd take a little bit from one inner thigh, take another from the other inner thigh to reform a breast. And then, but see, these procedures, you're looking at 3 or 4 different surgeries. The initial recovery time is longer. It's like 12 to 14 weeks, I think. And then they got to do revision surgeries, like 3 or 4. So if you do choose that route, and I'm not discouraging it in the slightest, I think it's fantastic because it's a one and done type procedure. You know, with implants, you got to go back 15, 20 years and get them changed. They can rupture, they can fold, they can ripple. There's lots of different things. Don't get me wrong, I'm not ripping on implants either. I know lots of women and friends that have implants and they're very happy with them. I just know for me, it would not be, I'm a more natural type of gal, as they say. So I would prefer the idea of having my own body tissue. And it ages with you. It's got its own blood supply. The only other thing that people need to remember, though, is whether it's an implant or an autologous flap procedure, there is no innervation. There's no nerves. You're not going to feel anything. So you have to remember that. But yeah. So I've got all my ducks in a row. Best case scenario, lumpectomy, hit PCR, and no radiation. Next best situation, lumpectomy, axillary node dissection, LVA procedure to cut back on lymphedema, and some radiation. That would be to be determined in the future. And worst case scenario, mastectomy, a single mastectomy of the right breast with an autologous flap procedure to recreate the breast. So, and also remember too, ladies, it is by law that your insurance has to pay for reconstruction, whatever you decide. And if you decide to go flat for a while at first, and then years down the road do reconstruction, you can still get reconstruction. And it has to be covered by your insurance. It is the law. And I will put the law up on the screen so you can see. I think that's all I got. Yeah, no, that's all I got for right now. I'll be back to talk about my second infusion.